o'clock on a Sunday, yeah, regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man, he's sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. I hope so. Now, John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. He gets me my drinks for free. He's quick with a joke, or he'll light up your smoke, but there's some place that he'd rather be. Oh, you said, John, I believe this is killing me, as a smile ran away from his face. Oh, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place. La la la, la la la. La la la, la la la, la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. He's a real estate novelist who never had time for a wife. And he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy and probably will be for life. Oh, and the waitress is practicing politics as the businessman slowly gets stoned. Well, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better drinking alone. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Oh, sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. It's a pretty good crowd for a Sunday. Are you all here?
Yes.
Are people there?
Yes, lots of people.
Lots of people. That's what we love. And I want you to notice.
They are noticing.
I've got a jacket.
They are noticing.
I look smooth, kind of ruggedly shaven.
Which means 2 days ago.
Yeah. It's a pretty good crowd for a Sunday.
Yes.
You are pretty good. Okay. We welcome you here to their Steinway Room. JV and Sue V over in the corner, rising star. She'll be on tour, as I reminded you, all over the women's meetings, all over the north of England, singing one song. And the manager, well, she gives me a smile. A bit of a genuine smile, please. It's the same thing. I don't know whether you noticed that. There's no difference, and that's the real worry. Because she knows, in an odd kind of way, she knows that it's me. I don't want to keep on about this because we've done this
you will.
for 42 weeks. She knows it's me they've been coming to see, to forget about this awful life. Well, for some of us, for a while. And the piano, it sounds like a carnival. And the microphone, it smells like a beer. And they sit in the bar and put bread in my jar. Just there, if you can, just drop it in. And say, "Ma'am, what are you doing here?" La 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 la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing it with me. Sing us a song tonight. Come on. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling hard. One more time. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Well, I've missed singing that, everybody. And, well, we welcome you all here, those of you who may be coming in for the first time.
Some people visiting us for the first time.
And are they? We've got,
Yes.
Yeah, lovely.
Friends of friends, which is fantastic.
Friends of friends, that's what we like. And we welcome you to JV and Suvi occasionally live in this.
What, you mean I'm occasionally live?
She's occasionally live.
Occasionally
if
live.
only you knew how true that was. But here I am, dressed smartly for you in a jacket. Look, this thing, a jacket, and a kind of a trendy. I tell you, it's very trendy. My sister gave it to me for Christmas, and I'm looking at myself and I'm thinking, I look like a 60-year-old Billy Joel. We've been,
yeah.
And that's what you're going to get. That was a Billy Joel song, and because it's going to be Billy Joel Day today, all right? I'm going to sing 3 songs for Billy Joel because I've been watching him in the. Sue's been getting sick and tired of it. I sat up one morning till 2 o'clock in the morning. And watching his concert live, and do you know what? Every time I looked at him, I thought, JV, he's modelled himself on me, and that's very.
And why wouldn't he?
Well, actually, we did go to the gig. We did go to the concert, didn't we? And we went to the concert.
Well, I didn't. You went with
Matt.
Matt.
Matthew, my son, and he took me to my Christmas, my birthday present, and off we went to this, and we went to Wembley Stadium, and he appeared on the big screen, and Matt turned to me and said, "Dad, he looks like you."
Except that he's 10 years older than you.
See, why do you have to ruin?
It's my
It was
wit.
Lisa Ashton, bless her heart, Lisa Ashton, erstwhile of the BBC, who did so many interviews with me, and she said I was better looking than Billy.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, that song is on the new album that's just been released. The breaking news is that we've got a new one coming out. I've been
John,
working all
it's
week.
on its way, John Greenwood. It's on its way to you.
And John Greenwood, where's my CD? It will be, hopefully.
I think I'll post yours 3 weeks before everybody
I think
else.
we'll just send it to you digitally. I'm not trusting the post, I'm delivering it by hand. And John sent a lovely message to us today saying how much he's looking forward to tonight and being together with people. Haven't we missed it? Haven't we missed being together? We've missed it.
We've missed you, people. We have really missed you.
We've only been
have
seeing
you missed
each other.
us? Have you missed us?
Yeah. We've been
missed
seeing each
you.
other, you see. And Sue's been driving. She's going, oh, I long for the days of just seeing the community.
We need some more people in the Steinway Room, is what I kept saying.
We need
some
more
more
people
people
in this
here.
house.
So welcome everyone.
Everyone to you all. So this is a little bit of Billy Joel. And actually, if indeed Sue and Neil are joining us, I'm going to sing you a little opera ditty, a little bit of a Neapolitan song. Hopefully, if I can still sing it. But this one a little for Billy.
And this one's for Rachel. Right at the beginning of the programme, Rachel, this one is for you.
Don't go changing to try and please me. You never let me down before. Don't imagine you're too familiar. I don't see you anymore. I would not leave you in times of trouble. We never could have come this far. I took the good times, I'll take the bad times. I'll take you just the way you are. Don't go trying some new fashion. Don't change the color of your hair. You always had my unspoken passion, though I might not seem to care. Oh, I don't want clever conversations. I never want to work that hard. I just want someone that I can talk to. I want you just the way you are. I need to know that you will always be the same old someone that I knew. And you, I forgot where I am. Never. I said I love you, and that's forever. And this I promise from the heart. I couldn't love you any better. I love you just the way you are. Just the way you are. Now that means it's live, because I have sung that song for years ago. I haven't done it.
You haven't done it for a while, you see, which is why Rachel suggested it.
Yeah, she did. So I didn't. I couldn't remember.
It hasn't
I
been
need to
sung.
know that you will always be.
Okay.
Same as someone that I knew. What will it say? I can't remember where it went now. Anyway, Sue, you were going to say something.
I was just about to say, Dan Bellamy, just want to say hi, because I know that you're going to be leaving us soon, but just both Jonathan and I are going to say hi, Dan, before you go to bed. Early to bed.
Early to bed. It's 8:15, Daniel. Okay. Well, have a nice night. If you go to bed now, I hope the rest of you will stay up for us for the full 10 hours. We've got a great show for you tonight.
We do.
And we've got the one and only Jeff Lucas. I wanted a big hitter tonight to kick off this New Year show, and we've got him from Columbine. Managed to get him. It's a bit of a coup, and he's in Columbine in Colorado Springs. And we recorded the interview, Sue and I, on Friday. With Rachel's help, on Zoom. So what you've got now, you're going to see Jeff rather than just hear him, because of this incredible new computer. So those of you who helped to contribute. After you remember the disaster that happened on Carol Service when it literally blew up, and we had to do it. Sue had to do it with the help of Rachel and Claire. We got it back on, and we did a show an hour and 20 minutes late, but we did it.
But hopefully you are noticing the wonderful picture
and sound.
Sound
should be a lot better.
Should be a lot better
if the singer can remember the song.
Yes, well,
now, so to that end, I'm going to try and sing. I hope Neil and Sue have joined us. If they have, now Neil and Sue are special people to us, and we saw them at a distance today. And Neil is my ENT friend. My ENT is specialist, and he sorts out my ears, and he's sorted out so many things for me over the years. But more than that, Sue and
friends.
Neil are great friends of ours, and they love opera. They've always loved opera, and they always supported me when I was in my all my years in opera. And at Glyndebourne, Covent Garden, they would follow me around and watch me, and it was wonderful. And there's so many opera things I could do, but this one so that it appeals to people, and I wonder whether I hope I can do it. I haven't sung this for ages. Che bella cosa, una giornata sole, un'aria serena, dopo una tempesta, bell'aria fresca, pare già una festa. Che bella cosa, una giornata sole. Ma tu sole, più bella in me, oh sole mio, stai in fronte a te, oh sole mio, stai in fronte a te, stai in fronte a te. Quando fa notte sulle scene mi viene quasi una malinconia sotto a finestra, la tua misteria. Quando fa notte sole scene, tu sole più bello in me, oh sole mio, stai in fronte a te, oh sole mio, stai in fronte a te, stai in fronte a te.
Bravo, 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 bravo. Ooh. And now we're all turning to the cornettos.
Just one cornetto, give it to me. Delicious ice cream, sing it for me, from Italy. Just one cornetto from Hall's ice cream. Enough rubbish. Now, just one song and then I'm going to make a phone call. Here we go. A song that's appearing on the new album, and I've just heard a beautiful version with Ben
Castle,
if you remember Roy Castle. His son is a world famous saxophonist, and we've managed to get him onto this album. We had Rao, and on the other one, those of you the flugelhorn, the beautiful flugelhorn, and now we've got the absolutely beautiful saxophone of Ben Castle, and you're going to love it. We've been listening to some lovely songs
moments
already, and so
it's not finished yet.
Not finished yet. We're still in the mixing stage, but it should be out. That's we're targeting Easter Day, that kind of time. And just to put in your diaries, we'll be planning Easter type services as much as we can, and with the availability of Rachel and Claire. But on the Sunday, on Easter Sunday, we will be doing a service here. We will do a service, all right, like we did for Christmas, and we'll do that, and it'll be a celebration. But we'll also do, possibly, if we can, a reflection on Good Friday. So stand by your guns for that. But lots of things happening. This one. What a difference a day makes. 24 little hours brought the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain. My yesterday was blue dear. Today I'm a part of you, dear. My lonely nights are through, dear, since you said you were mine. Oh, what a difference a day makes. There's a rainbow before me, skies above can't be stormy. Since that moment I please, that thrilling kiss is heaven when you find romance on your menu. What a difference a day makes. And the difference is you. Is you. My yesterday was blue, dear. Today I'm a part of you, dear. My lonely nights are through, dear, since you said you were mine. What a difference a day makes. There's a rainbow before me, skies above can't be stormy. Since that moment I please, that thrilling kiss, heaven when you find romance on your menu. What a difference a day makes. and the difference is you. Is you. Is you. Is you.
Lovely.
That wasn't bad, was it?
Wow, that went down very well. And can I just say what a difference the day makes? So for Norma Sadler, I think your birthday must have been yesterday. You said this is your birthday weekend. And Susan Bradshaw, your birthday is tomorrow. So happy birthday, both of you, because it was your birthday.
Right. So
are you ringing someone now?
I'm ringing someone right now.
Right.
Are we off being at mute?
We are now.
Right. Andy, are you there?
Hello, Jonathan.
Andy Hatvarney, a man barely alive. Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. Do you remember that?
I certainly do. I saw it in black and white.
No, Steve Austin, wasn't it? It was Steve Austin, a man barely alive.
That's correct.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. Dun, dun, dun. Do you know what? I used to, and this is absolutely true. When it came out, I must have been 13, 14. But I always imagined that I was the Bionic Man and I could go, and I did they did the fighting in slow motion, didn't they? So I would put the arm up like that, and then I'd look and go, with my bionic eye, and I'd run faster than anybody. Of course, I was the slowest thing in my school and the most timid, so that was a load of old rubbish. Anyway, how are you, and how fit are you?
Yeah, we're fine, Jonathan. Thank you very much. I don't know about fit, but we're fine.
Fine, excellent. You've not succumbed to the COVID yet?
I haven't, and I don't want it.
No, I think we're all being.
And hopefully, not many people will.
No,
we'll get it.
No, I'm hoping that we will really this COVID the vaccine will make a lot of difference to people. I'm hoping that is the case.
Yes.
We'll talk about that a bit later.
Given our age, Jonathan, we'll get it soon.
Listen, I'm only 60. I mean, you're very old, but you're the youngest one in your household, I seem to remember, aren't you? I'm sorry, Jill. I'm sorry. Now, Andy, just to give you a kind of, is my son's father-in-law. And I have to tell you that we've struck up a great and loving friendship between the four of us, and they're great people. And Andy and Jill are one of life's angels, and I don't expect him to respond to that, but he spent the last few years working for food banks and changing people's lives in northwest London, in Enfield. And they have really just grasped the moment, and they've done this and have been very supportive. We try to support their work as well over these months. But tell us something else you're doing, and I want us to kind of get a grip of this, and I'll give you the context in a second. Tell us what you're doing, Andy.
Okay, it's basically, Jonathan, Jill and I went on a cruise in March, and we went to the Caribbean. And unfortunately, no country wanted us. So we sailed round and round the Caribbean for a week. And because it was an all-inclusive cruise, I piled on the pounds.
Yes.
So when I got home and had a look at the scales, I thought, well, my hair can't weigh that much. It must be me. So what I decided to do was get out the exercise bike. And from day one, because of lockdown, I decided to cycle on my exercise bike to Rome and back.
Yes.
Which not many people do, but there you go.
No.
And that was over 2,500 miles just to Rome. So I thought, well, I've got to keep going because I need to lose this weight, and I had lost some. So the next step was to go from Land's End to John O'Groats.
Yes, yes.
And managed to do that. Go on it nearly every day if I can, but sometimes, having worked at the food bank, as you mentioned, one does get tired at my age.
Yes.
So I managed to do that, and I thought, right, what can I do next? Well, I've got to get home from John O'Groats.
Yeah, Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I'm sitting on a bike listening to sometimes your music, other music, watching videos and what have you. But is there any way that we could assist each other?
Yeah.
So I had a chat with yourself, and I contacted Adrian, and I thought, I wonder if people would want to sponsor me to get from John O'Groats back to Enfield.
What a great
so
idea.
I worked out that it was 1,080 kilometres.
Yes.
Which is 671 miles.
Yeah, yeah.
So I thought, okay, let's give this a bit more thought. And it came to me that if people were to sponsor me for a penny per kilometre, that money would go to your new charity or the new charity.
Yes.
So I got some feedback and people were saying it was a very good idea. Why don't you go for it?
Yeah.
So I advertised this on the JV community website, put information on there, and people came back to me. And a few people said, well, how do I pay you? I want to pay you for this.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my word, things are starting to roll on.
Yes.
So what I've come up with is that to make it easy for everybody, or for those people who wish to sponsor me in aid of the charity, is that people would pay the sponsorship when I finished.
Right.
Now,
and when do you aim to finish? What's your what's your target?
Right. From the 671 miles in total, I'm now just outside Warrington.
Yeah.
Although speaking to you from Enfield.
I think we've got that up on the screen, haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So my next step is to get to Coventry by next Sunday, which is another 99 miles.
Yep. Yep.
159 kilometres. And then the last week is just a paltry 83 miles from Coventry back into Enfield, where I expect to see bunting, people lining the streets,
parades,
welcoming me home.
Parades, brass bands.
Yes. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Jonathan, it works out as £10.80.
Yes.
Now, to some, I understand that is beyond their means, but for others, it may be something that they could say, well, that's an idea. That's something I could do for the charity.
Yes.
So all I'm doing basically is selling the story and doing the work.
That's we like people like you.
and keeping well away from the actual sponsorship, because this is something that needs to be set up between the individual
and the charity. Yeah.
And the charity.
Good.
And it's a bit like yourself being devoid of the charity. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I have been putting information up on the website as to how far I've gone.
Great.
And I'll be doing that again.
What we'll do is I'll phone you next week Sunday, more or less the same kind of time, see how you're getting on, see what we're doing, and people can agree to that in principle. Let's have some hearts and some £10.80. That sounds like an absolute, that's a reachable target, isn't it? That's 3 coffees worth from Gosters or something like that. And we'll be definitely giving that. And plus a lot more. What we're trying to do, Andy, as you know, is trying to, with Adrian's help and the trustees, we're trying to get the money out to people. We want to get the money in, and we want a steady flow. That's what we're trying to get. And so you watch this space for more news on making it easier. The bank account, we're not giving over the air because of cyber security. We were warned about that, so we're not going to do that tonight. But what we will do, it will be posted in the JV community group, okay?
That's fine.
Or you can get hold of Sue, go to Sue's Messenger or my Messenger, and we will pass the details on to you to pay it directly in. And that means it bypasses us. Please, people out there, please, everybody in the community, do not pay it to us and ask us to pass it on. We want you to go directly to. It's much simpler, and it avoids any nastiness with the tax man, and it becomes a different thing. So look, Andy, what a great thing you're doing. Thank you for doing this. It will make a lot of difference to a lot of people what you're doing. And Sue, do you want to say anything?
Yes, just that I'm amazed that Jill hasn't paid money for you to actually stay up in John O'Groats.
The only good thing about all this, well, two things. One is I have lost the weight.
Yes.
So I'm looking for another cruise.
Yes. Yeah, about the cruise. Right now, I don't think cruises are a good idea. I'm just going to say that.
I don't think so.
No, I think keep away from mass groups of people. Andy, we'll speak next week, but thank you for coming on to the show, and we're going to move on, do another song. All right, mate?
Take care.
Bye, Andy.
Thanks,
Thank
bye.
you. Before you move on, just a serious point that Sam Cowan has pointed out, that there are 500,000, that's 500,000 seafarers are stuck at sea because of the pandemic. So they can't actually get home to their families. So that's 500,000 seafarers are just stuck on ships, just wandering around on ships because they can't go home. So Sam, thank you for pointing that out. And
Sam, it's lovely to have you from Northern Ireland tonight. The Cowans, dear people that we've met in Bangor in Northern Ireland. I just want to say hello. How are you? It's nice to see you. It is indeed. So how's it in Northern Ireland? Northern Ireland? Are you having a power shower? Sorry, I just had to do that.
Okay.
Right, now, look, accents are my thing. What can I do? Every time somebody's on our specialist is on the phone, lovely Mr. Panish, and when he was speaking, I almost started speaking like him.
I know, I was watching you very carefully.
Because he's saying, and so the date for your doing is 21st of April. And I was going, thank you very much. It's very kind of you. And I was like, oh dear, watch it. Just don't do it. But and it's true. And when John and Liz are watching me from Scotland, it's kind of, I just want to slip into that, it's minging, totally, aye, that's right, So, but on that, I just want to move into a little bit of sadness time. And this next song is... just during this Christmas time, it's been such a difficult time. We acknowledge the extraordinary loneliness that some people feel. Some people, they've enjoyed this time. They've enjoyed being, if they're together, they've been fine. Some people have found it. They've said to me, it's driving me crazy. I'm just at home with my wife and she's driving me mad. I'm driving her mad. And that's definitely the case in between Sue and I. So if there's an exchange plan that we can put into place.
Yeah, I'll have someone else's husband here for a while. I'm quite happy.
Right. Yes, you'll be quite look forward to that. But on a serious note, what we noticed is that our dear member of the community, Zena, has lost her dad during this time. And as Sam was saying, so many people stuck in positions where they can't get home. And Zena, you'll remember, sung Once in Royal David City.
Beautifully.
So beautifully, opera singer in Toulouse. I knew her back in my college days, 35, 40 years ago. And lovely soprano, but more to the point, she's lost her dad and she can't be there, and her two siblings as well. So the mother has had to cope with this whole situation on her own. But Zena, tonight we send out warm greetings, and somebody who asked for this.
I don't know, but
somebody asked
to
sing this song, and it's an interesting choice, and I hope it's appropriate. It's a really difficult song to sing at this time. Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, That's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness, although a tear may be ever so near. That's the time you must creep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
Lovely. And I know that a lot of the community have been giving you a lot of support, Zena, and quite rightly too. Lots of love, prayers, positive thoughts and hugs going in your direction.
Just a kind of a word, please. I think actually it's a kind word.
A kind
Remember
word.
that best portion of a man, those little unremembered acts of kindness and of love. The best portion of a man, those little unremembered acts of kindness and love. The best portion of a man. And when we come back together, this is even more the case. Through this third lockdown it is. And I often sit there at the couch and think, really? And we're not even on day, it feels like we've been doing it for months and it's just another week. And it's hard for people like Marion Gaff, for people like Erica, for people, so many of you who are on your own during this time and who have been so disciplined, and then when the government comes and says, you've got to be better, you've got to do more, otherwise more restrictions. And you think, more restrictions? How do you isolate the already isolated? And I think of your mother, who was here on that Christmas day. But she just said, when we talked about, we'll be able to give her a hug. She went and she had her vaccination and the other day on Friday. And the notion that she'll be able to have a hug from her daughter at the age of 93, and that she misses it. Seeing the grandchildren over on a doorstep, handing over birthday presents, Christmas presents. We're lucky, we can see them. But the notion, and the child wants to run towards you and wants to play with you because that's what they've always done. You can't hug your own child. And suddenly that song is going to be a strange Christmas this year with unwelcome decorations of anxiety and fear, tables laid with loneliness, anxiety and fear. It's going to be a strange Christmas this year. And Paul Field wrote that song, and he spoke to me yesterday. And life is difficult. We were saying this life is so tough. And
actually, it's harder this time round.
It's harder this time round.
The first lockdown was sunny and it was a novelty, and we could still talk to people in the gardens and so on. But this is cold and wet and grim, and it seems to just underline the loneliness for so many people and the harshness for so many people.
It does. And so, what's the answer? Why I started? And somebody said to me today, Neil and Sue were talking to me, and they said, well, how do you do it? Well, part of the way that I redirect that, I try, is by being kind to people, to everybody that I see, whether it's in the unit, and suddenly I'm helping in the unit.
Jonathan started dialysis saying, I'm just going to keep my head down, I'm not going to engage, I'm just going to get through this. And he started talking to the staff only, and that was fine. And I thought, I'll give it a week or two. And of course, now he's engaging with people around him, he's helping people around him, and socially distancing and keeping his mask on, but he can't stop it because that's what you're hardwired
and because
to do.
People are finding life so difficult. And what I try and do is, where from the point of view I am, I try and offer kindness. And what we can do, and what we've tried. Somebody said, what was this? What was that award for? The Music and Arts Awards, 20 Surrey and Sussex, BBC. What did we win this? These local heroes. Well, and a hero, the term, I find that very weird, and I don't like it. But I think we've been, and I have to just emphasise this: the community has started. It's picked up. It's run with what we've tried to model from the front. And I'm glad that that's what we've done. So people like David Goodwin, I'm going to name names, Cam Bate, John Dick, Stuart McCready, people who are running various groups, within the community, in the Facebook group, and the show of love. This is what we're trying to do: acts of love and kindness, unremembered. All right, and this group is a group for people of faith and no faith. This is not a church. It is like a church in that we hope this is what church should be.
Rachel has put up on the screen that if you aren't already part of this Facebook group, it's very easy to join, and just come along and
answer the questions. It's your
answer the questions, and
please answer the questions,
because we need this group to be a safe group for people to express their fears, their sadnesses,
and
anxieties, and joys. But they need to feel safe.
They need to feel safe.
They feel safe at the moment.
And they feel safe. And people who are not Christian need to feel safe in that community. So it's not an exclusive group. And if you think it is, then that's not the group for you. And so that's what we do.
So keep being kind, people. Keep being kind.
I think...
Are you going to sing?
I will sing All That Matters. I'm going to sing this song. This one is going to...
This is another one that's going to be on the next album. This is beautiful song, Moments. And Chloe, you picked this up and you said, could Jonathan sing it again this week? Because life is full of good and bad moments. But when things are difficult, it's good to hang on to the good moments that we have actually had. So,
this song by Bryn Howarth, and he sings it with me on the album. These are the moments that we love so well, precious moments caught within a spell. All too soon our lives, they fade away. These are the moments that we wish would stay. And if I had my life to live again, I would choose to be with you, my friend. Time moves slowly and it goes so fast, and who knows how long the days will last. So cherish deep within the love you get today. Let the moment linger, for tomorrow steals that away. Tomorrow steals that away. but tomorrow steals that away. Tomorrow steals that away. These are the memories that we made so well. Lives like stories that we long to tell. And when we're old with not so much to say, we'll have the memories that we made today. We'll have the memories that we made today.
Beautiful.
Now, somebody said to me, they said, why don't you have more Christian songs? Somebody wrote, I want a Christian song, she said. What's wrong with you? So I said, okay, we'll sing some Christian songs and we will do...
Are you not going to do the one I asked for, the Billy Joel one?
Oh, would you like that one?
I would.
Okay, well, I'll do that one first then.
Okay. Thank you. And the
right,
reason that I asked Jonathan to do this one is because Jerry pointed out on last Sunday that it would be a good one to do. But I want to dedicate this one in particular to our angel, little Lily, who was 1 yesterday. And we'd love you to sleep well, my angel. And Mummy, who is going to have a birthday on Wednesday, would also love you to sleep well. So for Julia and for Lily, this song is for you from Grandad Pops, and we love you.
Good night, my angel, time to close your eyes and save these questions for another day. I think I know what you've been asking me. I think you know what I've been trying to say. I promised I would never leave you, and you should always know, wherever you may go, no matter where you are, I never will be far away. Good night, my angel, now it's time to sleep, and still so many things I want to say. Remember all the songs you sang for me when we went sailing on an emerald bay, and like a boat out on the ocean, I'm rocking you to sleep. The water's dark and deep inside this ancient heart. You'll always be a part of me. Good night, my angel, now it's time to dream, and dream how wonderful your life will be. Someday a child may cry, and if you sing this lullaby, then in your heart there will always be a part of me. Someday we'll all be gone, but lullabies go on and on. They never die. That's how you and I will be. Good night, darling.
Thank you. That was
Ooh,
very
that was a bit
beautiful. That was very beautiful.
And
Thank
why was
you.
it tearful, Sue?
It was tearful because
If I
Jonathan
can't say
used
so.
to sing that in the early days of doing the one-man show, and Matt used to come out and stand next to the piano as a wee boy of about 7, and Jonathan would sing it to him, and that was very special. And then another time in Northern Ireland, Jonathan was performing, and Nick was over there with us, and he again was about 7.
At the Waterfront Hall?
The Waterfront Hall, and so Jonathan got him down out of the audience and stood him next to the piano and sang it to him, and I think the emotion got to Nick, and he sobbed. When he went back to his seat, he sobbed for about half an hour.
I couldn't stop crying.
Couldn't stop crying because it's a very emotional song.
Yeah,
and
it's such
singing
a
it to your sons.
For me,
is
it's
very
one
emotional.
of the best songs he ever wrote, and he said that the other day. He said it was in the
beautiful song.
top 5 of songs.
But I
he
have
ever
to
wrote.
say that I haven't heard anyone sing it as beautifully as you sing it.
Did you enjoy that?
Oh, it was just beautiful. And I have to say that Billy sort of rushes through it, whereas you give it such
I do.
tenderness and such care.
I think I might, if I can better sing it when we do when we come out the unlockdown concerts.
Yes, put that.
I'd love to do it with a band.
Right,
I'm planning. I don't know whether I'll be able to do it.
No, move on.
But what I want to say is that we will be doing that, and I'll be celebrating 60 years and so many years in the business in performing for people and with people. And we'll be going around the country doing this. That's what we're going to plan. So when you want to, we're looking for the date for transplant, as you know, is the 21st, and 6 weeks after that of April. 6 weeks after that, hopefully, I will be back in. Before that, hopefully, we'll come and do a few minutes of maybe an hour for you. But as we go 6 weeks, 8 weeks after that, I'll be ready to work and to be out there. And so I'm looking, I think, towards an autumn tour for this year, and hopefully, and we
COVID
can get
permitting.
one in, COVID permitting. We will get you, the audiences, around the country, and Sue will sing her one song. Right, before we go to Columbine and to a really fascinating interview with dear Jeff Lucas. Jeff is an international speaker and writer. He's written so many books and things. Many of you have got his books, and if you're not Christian but you want to listen in, because he's a guy who just connects. He's from his heart, and that's why I love him. But to this lady who said, "I hope you're going to sing Christian songs." Here's a song that we recorded on the new album, and I'll just do a little bit of a piano version before we go. I want Jesus walk with me. I want Jesus to walk with me all along my pilgrim journey. I want Jesus to walk with me. In my trials, walk with me. In my trials, walk with me. Oh, when the shades are falling, I want Jesus to walk with me. Oh, and in my sorrow, walk with me. In my sorrow, so Lord, walk with me. Oh, when my heart is aching, I want Jesus to walk with me. My troubles, walk with me. Oh, in my troubles, walk with me. When my life becomes a burden, I want Jesus to walk with me. Oh, in my joys, walk with me. Oh, in my joys, walk with me. Oh, when my life is filled with laughter, oh, I want Jesus to walk with me. Walk with me in my trials. Walk with me in my sorrow. Walk with me in my troubles. Walk with me in my joys. Walk with me. I want Jesus to walk with me. Thank you. Thank you very much
Wow.
indeed. Now that was an
was great.
instant arrangement.
Instant arrangement by JV.
And that will be on the new album as well. We've got a new wonderful arrangement.
Lovely version of that. And I would like to dedicate that to Hazel. Hazel Buckland, it is your birthday today. So another birthday, and that one is for you.
And we go now straight away.
We do, straight away.
Straight away to this fantastic interview. Enjoy it. We'll be back to you as soon as we had the interview, and you've got a friend. See you in a minute. Well, it's hello from Sue and I to lovely Jeff Lucas. Jeff, greetings, and lovely to see you here. Where are you on from?
I'm in snowy, sunny Colorado. Be envious because it's glorious here. Just got to say, I mean, those joining us right now won't know this, but you just did a reverse countdown from 10 to 1 before the show began, and I was just well done, counting backwards from 10 to 1. You know,
Shut up, Jeff.
I tell you what, when we get off air, go try from 20 down to 1. That would be great.
He can do that too. He's all right. He can do that too.
That's really good.
Yeah. Do you know what?
And, the other thing is you weren't using your fingers. So good job, man.
Can I just say to you, all right, straight away, Jeff Lucas, right? I'm one of the foremost thinkers of our age, all right? I just want you to know that.
That's right. Okay. A legend in your own mind, I believe.
A legend in my own mind. Exactly, mate. And this technology thing, mate, I've never got hold of it. I don't understand it. And I know Rachel is there recording this now for us because you're over there in Colorado, in Timberline. Timberline. Is it Timberline or Timberline? What is it? Never remember.
Timberline, and it's not Timberland. That's shirts and shoes. People say to me, how's things going in Timberland? And I'm like, I'm not running a retail store. This is ridiculous. So, and the other thing, I just got to say this, I'm seeing my picture and I'm like 2 seconds behind myself. And this is a revelation because I've always felt for the whole of my life that I've been 2 seconds behind myself, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. And I've often thought that about you too, if you want me to be honest. But I haven't wanted to say anything, and but now you've recognised it yourself. Do you know that that's the first sign, isn't it? Really, in a way, it's towards progress. Progress.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about here, Jeff.
When we own what we are, it's
exactly. Hello, my name's Jonathan, and I'm a 2 second behind my life.
Exactly.
And they go, hello, Jonathan, welcome.
Well, it goes,
12
hello,
steps.
Jonathan, because you're 2 seconds behind. Anyway, nice to see you.
Now,
both.
Jeff, stop this nonsense. We've got so little time to talk about life and all that. So you're in America. Tell us a little bit. I'm just going to ask you, how is it out there? Very, very simply, we hear about a certain madness that has overtaken the States. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's tense, it's difficult, it's polarizing, sadly. Or one of the challenges that we're facing at the moment is actually speaks to a broader challenge, I think, both in the wider church and also in the world. And that is that we as people tend to listen to those that agree with us and endorse our own prejudices. Yeah. And when you do that, when you don't have any dissonant voices that can challenge you and tell you, look, you're just a blethering idiot, and why do you believe that? Then you just drive yourself up a particular track. So what I'm really hoping, JB and Sue, is that everybody would just calm down and not only start, and again, this is a wider issue that's not limited to the current situation in America, because, birds of a theological feather flock together and we all huddle around and go, yes, we are absolutely right, aren't we? And we feel so good about that. I think if one thing we can learn about this is to listen and talk rather than shout. That would be good. But do pray. And I'm asking your whole community there to be praying because it is tense, it is difficult, and it is dangerous. And these are complex times for church leaders to be church leaders. Let me just put it like that.
I think that's a good answer as always, and it's an intelligent answer because I think one of the things that we've found is the term binary, 1 or 0, and that's what we've become. It's either this or it's that. I remember great Billy Joel song, "Shades of Grey are all that I find when I look to the enemy line." black and white is how it should be, but shades of grey are the colour I see. Life is more complex than we'd like to agree. And the trouble is that as soon as you polarise, you're either one thing or another, then it becomes very difficult because what is it? Politics and life is the stuff of compromise. That's what we do to exist together in this. I mean, you'd agree with that, wouldn't you? See, a compromise is where we are.
Absolutely. We can't just sort of, as you say, occupy our own silo and say, I'm only going to listen to people who agree with me. Because that's not the way forward. And I think listening is so important, but it's sort of something that we're losing track of. We're sort of becoming less able to listen to each other.
I do also think that...
Right, can I just throw this in as well? I mean, there is this shouting business. I mean, Janet Street Porter years ago said that Britain was becoming shouty Britain. Yes. And I think that's true. I've been reading a book this week about how the internet has affected our capacity to imbibe information. And so, for example, it is pretty much a clinical fact that people are struggling to read books and finish them now, because we've become conditioned to take in information in a paragraph or with 140 characters or less on Twitter. And so the ability to cognitively really explore a lengthy argument, we're not doing that. What we're doing is we're putting 5 sentences on Facebook, and that's the declaration of our argument. And rather than interrogating those ideas, we're just throwing sentences at each other. And not only that as well, but I think that prejudice looks for confirmation and edits out contradiction. So when we've made our minds up about somebody, when they confirm our suspicions, we really see that. And when they don't confirm our suspicions and they do something, for example, quite beautiful, we don't even notice, or we write it off as a one-off. So we're funny, aren't we? We human beings. I mean, how God puts up with us, I'll never know. It's like, do you think God is looking at us all going most of the time? Like,
I do think exactly that, isn't it? That do you just think, oh, for goodness sake, he must be saying, oh, for goodness sake, again, here we go again. And the here we go again. And this whole thing that Steve Turner, he says history repeats itself. It has to. No one listens. I remember reading that as about an 18-year-old, and it was a kind of revelation to me at 18, you know, a young Christian guy. And I thought, that's exactly where we are right now. I think the thing about listening was an interesting one, because Sue's background is in listening to people, in counselling and helping other people. It's one of the many things she did, and listening to each other. I mean, to your children, to your mother-in-law, to the people who are in need. How does that show itself where you are you're going into a church situation where you're not full time there? You come back. You said about your grandchildren, by the way. You just left, didn't you? You had a 20-hour journey. Tell us about that for a second.
Well, the journey was horrendous. Eating food lovingly prepared by a demonized chef with your legs wrapped around your neck is not fun. And then we came in through clearing, which is basically a person with a clipboard saying, have you coughed lately? So that wasn't fantastic. But then, of course, our grandchildren, we've got 2 grandsons, Alex and Stanley. We're completely besotted and obsessed with them. They are, of course, the finest grandchildren in the world. And I say that.
No, I think you'll find mine are. Don't go down that path.
And I can say that without any sense of prejudice whatsoever. But they don't cry when we leave, which is, I'm glad they're not upset. I just wish they'd be a little bit upset, you know. And in fact, next time we leave, I might slip them 20 quid and say, could we have a little bit of turbulent emotion, because it would make me feel.
What you want, Jeff, is just that bottom lip, just to wobble a little.
Just a quiver.
Just a little quiver. That would do, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be worth a tenner, you know.
Yeah. But Jeff, can I just interrupt here? Oh, this is just a chat between us. I know, but I just have to tell you, and Sue knows this, our grandchildren are the most advanced I've ever seen. No, truly. And you know how I knew? Let me tell you this, Jeff. Why? Because when my Poppy was only 6 weeks old, right? I was holding her, just rocking her like this, okay? Just like this, 6 weeks old. And she looked up at me, you know, and she said, Granddad, 6 weeks old. I said, yes, darling. And she asked the question that every little child wants to know. She said, Grandad, do you know what the Wi-Fi code is around here? That, my dear boy, is advanced. All right.
I'm sorry, but when our grandson Stanley was just 4 hours old, he looked at me and said, Grandad, do you understand the theory of relativity? So take that, buddy.
And you said relatively, yeah. When you're down, untroubled, and you need some love and care, nothing, well, nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You got a friend. Right, and you just served me the smallest cup of coffee. Right?
Be grateful.
And full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow. Keep your head together now and call my name out loud. Soon I'll be knocking at your door. Oh, you just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Oh, oh, oh. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. Now ain't it good to know that you've got a friend when people can be so cold? They'll hurt you and desert you and take your soul if you let them, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. Jeff, enough of this nonsense. One of the things I think actually that we've noticed with our community here, this growing community of people, kindness has cut in, and where kindness has cut in, strife has disappeared. It's a very interesting thing. And people who are not Christian people have shown extraordinary kindness, as well as those who are Christian people. And that little, that I don't know whether you've experienced it in Timberline as well, or here when you were living back in Blighty, but where you see acts of kindness. I mean, have you witnessed that where you are?
Yeah, totally, all of the time. And that's been one of the beautiful things actually coming out of this wretched COVID thingy, is that we've seen people it's the cliche, isn't it? I mean, there's certain sentences that have done the rounds, like there's been an unprecedented use of the word unprecedented, and we're ramping up and rolling out and all of that, which normally used to refer to BMX bikers. But I've also noticed, there's this phrase that we're seeing people at their best and at their worst. Yeah. And I think we really are seeing the power of kindness. Now, let me just share a moment with you, which is a bit awkward actually, because it is actually about me being kind. And that's awkward because that can sound self-serving, but most of my ministry is about me lashing things up. But like really every now and again, very occasionally, I get it right. And I'm sure that angels gasp in wonder and probably launch into another carol, even though it's not Christmas. But I was on a recent flight back a few months ago now. The flight attendants were just fantastic. They were like, they couldn't do enough. They were just, and the lovely attitude. Anyway, I went back to the galley where they were preparing the food which has no name. And I just, there were 2 or 3 flight attendants standing around, and I said, just want to come back and say that you guys are absolutely stunning. I'm not going to wait till the end of the flight when we get off and I just say, we mumble, thank you. You are brilliant, and you are working under conditions where a lot of passengers I know are irritated and fed up, and thank you for that. Well, the one flight attendant, I thought she was going to cry. And she said, that means so much. Anyway, I went back to my seat. The next thing I know, they come up to the seat with a handwritten card to say thank you, and a few bottles of fizzy orange, if you get my drift.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And some other stuff as well, and a big box of stuff. And they said, oh, this is from our flight crew. We just wanted to say thank you for appreciating us. Now, I don't say that, no, give God the glory and all that. No. I don't say that to be self-serving or silly, but I just saw that day. You see, wandering back to that galley cost me nothing.
No.
Actually,
no.
Forget the bottles of fizzy stuff. There was a tremendous satisfaction in seeing their faces light up. And so you're absolutely right. Kindness has been something which I hope we've rediscovered the value of that as we've clapped for carers and just generally done our best. The best of times and the worst of times. Very Dickensian, I think, but it's
very
true.
Dickensian.
Yeah, good word. That.
Thank you. No, that's you. And this is what we find. This is lovely to hear that from you, Jeff. Look, I would like to just have a little segment to talk about your new book. Now, we're just going to put a little graphic up now and give you that's available. I think when is it available from?
It's actually coming out on February the 1st. And it's Singing in Babylon, Finding Purpose in Life's Second Choices. It's the story of Daniel, who went into lockdown at around the age of 15 or so. And he went into lockdown in exile in Babylon and was living a second choice life. But in that second choice life, until probably his late 70s, early 80s, he never went back to his beloved Jerusalem. He stayed in lockdown for the rest of his life, but he thrived. And the book is about facing the fact that as Christians, we live in second choices. It is not your first choice to hook yourself up to dialysis for 4 hours. You would not choose that. And you believe in God and you pray and you believe that if he's big enough to say, let there be Pluto, and Pluto shows up, you know that he can do stuff because he's God. Yet at the same time, you live in your second choice, endeavoring to be faithful. And so that's what this book is about. And I'm a bit nervous that sometimes people like me, particularly, we can give the impression to our fellow Christians that if we pray enough and read the Bible enough, particularly Leviticus, that that people will get their first choice, because that's what God wants you to have.
Yes.
But the reality is, first choices and second choices intersect every day.
Yeah.
You know, I come in here, I sit down in my study, I love it in here, and I reach for my cup of tea, but that's my first choice, but my cup of tea's gone cold. Second choice. Trivial level, but first and second, trivially and tragically intersect all of the time. So how can we have faith when we face up to that reality? That's what the book is about. And I don't want to overstate it. I appreciate the opportunity to mention it. I don't want to overstate it, but it is God's perfect
Jeff.
will. Now, let me just say this. It is God's will that everybody buys it. I don't want to overstate it. You know, that's just the reality.
Well, I hope, stop a minute, stop 1 second. I hope you've all got that it's God's will that all of you buy this, okay?
Absolutely.
So all of the community, and just show him that you love him.
Can I just say this? There's this thing called the Big Church Read that's happening.
Yes.
Churches up and down the country reading a book together, and Singing in Babylon they're using that for the National Church Read, which I'm really excited about. So
brilliant.
I interrupted you there, and we want to. You don't interrupt you.
We're going to put up. I'm going to put where can we get it from, Jeff?
You can get it. The ideal thing is if your local Christian bookshop is doing click and collect, then get it. Support your local Christian bookshop if you can. These are fantastic people who are not in it for the money. We know that it's real ministry. No. Failing that, Eden or Amazon, you can get it from there as well, or you can get it through the Big Church Read website as well. Yeah.
Yeah, my sister was wanting to do it for.
Yeah, she was wanting to do the same thing
with her group at church. I know, and I think they probably will do it after the one that they're doing. So it's always good to have you on. I think I just want to ask one final thing, because I've got to go off to dialysis now, and it's always great having you on, Jeff. And I could talk to you for the full 2 hours, mate, about life and everything else and the way life is, and the way life actually. As you know, you've helped so many people, people who are Christian and people who are not Christian, and this community has always been about people of faith and no faith, and they've all been welcome to join it. And I often say it's not a church, but it's like a church. And what we do is we try and the doors are always open, and you try and we welcome people in. But you've been listening to the Jeff and Ori stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, I have to say, Jeff, that I have really enjoyed it, and it's not just me sucking up to you, although, but actually, yeah, I just feel that you are just yourself, which is fantastic, and just give us the odd thought, the odd thing to just hang on to. And there is a reality about the way that you connect with people and the way that you speak with people that is so helpful, because and so rare. We know the sort of the truths, we know the reality of God for many of us, and yet you don't always need to be reminded of that. Sometimes you just need to be told that life is difficult, and that's the reality of it, and that helps us to get through it.
Yeah, and so Jeff, to that end, I would ask you, just as a kind of a final Jeff Lucas moment, just. I suppose, that moment in the Anglican Church, it says, send us out in the power of your Spirit to live and work to your praise and glory. There's that end of the communion service in the Anglican service. And I always like that, because it kind of, it encourages people. Now, as a minister of religion and of faith, and those who've experienced faith, can you just kind of send us out in the beginning of this very difficult year with something that will just kind of, I don't know, help motivate and push us forward, because that's what I think we need. So many of us feel stagnant and we can't move. So could you just give us a little bit of a thought before you go?
Yeah, thanks for that. I'd like to just say to the community there, go forth in exploration, anticipation, and disillusionment. Exploration, if you're not a follower of Jesus and you're trying to figure this out, know that JV and Sue and we're not religious people who've just installed stained glass double glazing and end our days by listening to Harry.
Although,
but God bless you in your exploration and your openness, perhaps, in this community. Go forth in anticipation. If you're a follower of Jesus, there is a God. He is interested. He's not as chatty as I expected him to be, but he is with us and for us. And then go forward, receiving the glorious gift of disillusionment, which is a gift that I've been trying to avoid for most of my life. But I've recently realized that it's not cynicism, but to embrace disillusionment is to be divested of an illusion. And when you're divested of an illusion, you face reality and you don't live your life blethering on about being disappointed all the time. And I realized, we're ending this program now, JV, for you to go off and sit in some sterile environment, I certainly hope, surrounded by people who look like they're disguised as bank robbers because they've got so many masks on. And I know that some people in the community who are tuning in, they're battling grief and cancer and loss, and you're battling what you guys are going through. And I would in no way want to trivialize that. But I do want to say that in the midst of life being tough, in this world, you will have trouble, says Jesus, but cheer up, take heart. I've overcome the world. Not my favorite verse. I haven't got that verse stuck on my Christian refrigerator at home. Nevertheless, it is true. So have exploration this year, have anticipation, and have disillusionment. And I'm sounding a bit like Boris Johnson without the hair, so I'll just be quiet. Have you noticed that Boris Johnson says alas a lot?
He does, doesn't he?
It's like he's trapped in a... I sometimes feel like I'm trapped in a Shakespearean drama, alas.
No. It is kind of weird. His use of language is quite archaic, and people love him. They go. Well, I don't know most of the words he's using, but they sound intelligent, so I'll go with it. That seems to be it. So I must try exactly that. I must try anticipation. And what was the second one?
I've forgotten now. It was so
exploration, anticipation, and disillusionment. I love that. Jeff, it's been a true pleasure to have this time with you and to share a friendship that over the years you've been. I say to you right now, people, this man, when things were really dark for me, he just phoned me and said, "How are you doing?" I can't tell you what that meant to me when I didn't even know what was going on myself. And that is the level of the man, all right? That's who he is. And that's who I hope we can all be for each other. Jeff, you've been an inspiration to us, as usual. Give our love to Kay. And when are you due to come back?
Well, we just had our March flight just got cancelled today by this airline. I won't mention the name. That wouldn't be fair to British Airways.
No, US Airlines. It's not fair.
It's British Airways, actually.
Oh, was it? Okay, right.
It's British Airways.
Yeah, so...
You've held on for 3 weeks on hold while you're waiting. Your call is very important to us. So important that you're going to wait a month. Anyway, that's when we think we're coming back. And hey,
seeing the grandchildren.
You go off to dialysis, and I know that as you navigate, both of you, forward towards that surgery, it's great what you guys have been doing to really help and lift people up. And I almost burst into a song there.
No, please don't. No, don't do it.
But seriously, thanks for doing that. You guys are greatly loved and appreciated, and keep up the good work and get well soon.
Thank you, mate. Here's a life truth in all its mystery, the beauty and the tragedy, the silence and the symphony, and everything between. And deep inside the heart of man, the need to know and understand. Are we a part of some great plan, or just a passing dream? Philosophers philosophize, but rarely look you in the eyes. And politics is compromise that rides the ebb and flow. Money talks and fashion screams to fill the space inside your dreams. If you want something to believe, I'll tell you what I know. My maker is my savior, my creator is also my friend, and to find him and his favor is all that matters in the end. The spirit of the age decrees we may not speak in certainties, but that's what Jesus is to me, the bedrock of my soul. A savior who can really save, a power stronger than the grave, the greatest gift I'll ever have, the deepest joy I know. My maker is my savior, my creator is also my friend, and to find him and his favor is all that matters, is all that matters. It's all that matters in the end. And that one is especially for John. Where's my CD? Greenwood.
I think he's gone to bed. Actually, that song is for everyone for whom life is quite tough at the moment. Liz Ormiston suggested it. It was a great suggestion, Liz. But can I particularly draw attention to Mark, who has just joined us, having had his wife just admitted to hospital, suffering from COVID. So that one is, of course, particularly for you both, Mark Farnham. Oh. And we as a community support you, care about you. We will be supporting you with prayers, with positive thoughts, and anything else that we can do.
And that's partly it's about that too, is that I often like to talk about prayers with legs, i.e. if we can help you in any way practically. There's a lot of expertise out there in the community. It might be living in your local community. We can deliver something to you if we're local. Farnham, if you're in Farnham, no, it's Mark Farnham, isn't it? You don't live in Farnham, yes. But if you lived in our local area, then we can help you. But if you actually tell us where you are, if you feel safe to do that, then we can get help to you if there are people in that area. Otherwise, whatever we can do, there's lots of expertise. Yeah. And it's almost like a notice board on that thing of people that have areas that they can advise you in if you need help with payments or anything like that, the social work of pensions, etc. Now, I'm just going to do two songs, and then Sue's going to have a little. And this one is called "Faithful One." Now, who was this for? Sue.
I'm just thinking. I think Pauline suggested this one. I didn't
mark
have
it
to
down.
write, no, but I think
No.
Pauline suggested this one.
All right, somebody suggested it. That's why we're doing it. And I from an album I did years ago, All That Matters was on an album called All That Matters. This one was called...
No, All That Matters is now on the Lockdown
Oh, of course, it's on the Lockdown one. That's correct. I recorded it first on the All That Matters album. Then it's on the Lockdown album in a new version. So here we go. This one is Faithful One. I find no hope within to call my own, for I am afraid of heart, my strength is gone. But deep within my soul is rising up a song, here in the comfort of the faithful one. I walk a narrow road through valleys deep, in search of higher ground on mountains steep, and with feet unsure I still keep pressing on, for I am guided by faithful one. Faithful to the end. Sing along with me, Sue. My true and precious friend, you have been faithful, so faithful to me. I see your wounded hands, I touch your side, with thorns upon your brow, you bled and died. But there's an empty tomb, a love for all who come and give their hearts to you, the faithful one. Faithful to the end, my true and precious friend, you have been faithful, so faithful to me. And from the starry sky there shines on me an everlasting hope of liberty. And when the day is done, and when the race is run, I will bow down before God's only Son, and I will lift my hands in praise for all you've done, and I will worship you, my faithful one. Faithful to the end, my true and precious friend, you have been faithful, so faithful to me. That was written by my old friend Chris Eaton, and he wrote that for this album, for that album, I seem to remember.
Yes, indeed.
Now this one, you don't have many minutes left. Just a couple of verses.
This one is particularly for you, Peter. Peter Day, in memory of your dad, Ron, who died, I think, 6 years ago yesterday. And I think you had this at his funeral, but it was a very special song for him, a very special hymn for him. So a couple of verses for you.
Is ended, the darkness falls at thy behest. To thee are morning hymns ascended, thy praise shall sanctify our rest. So be it, Lord, thy throne shall never, like us proud empires, pass away. Thy kingdom stands and grows forever, till all thy creatures own thy sway.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. That was much appreciated. So thank you very much. I can't tell you guys how wonderful it's been to be back with you all,
Really
actually.
lovely.
And I know that a lot of people have just appreciated it so much. And it's just lovely just to be gathering round again together, isn't it? So here we go. I just want to go through a few bits and pieces with you. As you know, many of you ordered it, had it, some of you eventually for Christmas. The Lockdown Sessions is out, and people are really enjoying this. It's a wonderful album. It's wonderfully creative, but it's very moving, and people are loving it, loving the quality of it. So it's available now at www.jonathanvera.com, and also at that particular site, you've got lots of other things to listen to. Now, Rachel's moved me on to the next one. For many of you, this is a bit of a sort of, I'm not sure what to do. Rachel and Claire are there. Rachel, Claire and Ben are there to help you. So again, on the screen, we've got here to help m.me/JVLiveTech. They are there to help you with your technical problems, and they will talk you through it in an easy to understand easy to understand way. If they can help me through all of this, they can help you through it. So there we are. And also there's a notice board that you can visit with all the information on. So all the notices will be up there on the Facebook page for those of you who have joined it. Where are we going next, Rachel? Yes, You Got a Friend Trust. We mentioned it earlier with Andy. We would love you to be thinking about people who could be helped through this trust.
Really important. Can I just add to this, please? and I've spoken to Adrian about this today, who's the chairman. We are desperate to help people. Can you please, do you know somebody, contact us. If you're not sure what to do, contact us. We will fill in the form that's necessary and get people helped. Okay? That's what it started out. That was the vision.
It's the tough times are beginning to bite for so many people, and it's simply for too many people, it's they don't have enough money to go and buy fresh food at the supermarket. So please be thinking about those people. And for many of you, I know that you're already helping them if you can, but also don't forget that you've got a friend trust, and come to us there. And it's there for you to be able to prompt us to help them. So don't forget it. Sorry. Trying to see what's going to come up next. Yes, the Facebook group we've mentioned. Please join us. Please go on it. Ask to join, but answer the questions so that we know that you are not a robot and that you are going to be agree by the terms, and to be kind to one another in there. Now, let me have a look at what we've got up here. Yes, Jonathan has a YouTube site with lots of lovely things on it. A number of you said how nice it was to see the You've Got a Friend video, and that is on youtube.com. So if you want to watch it again, you can at any time.
And loads of other videos of me.
Yes, past shows are up there, past videos are up there. So, you don't have to be lonely without JV for very long before you can go and listen to something or watch something that's on there. So that's the YouTube, and also Jonathan Vera Music Live. For those of you who would like to contribute to the work that we do, and we are so grateful for those of you who do. Some of you have set up regular amounts, and that is incredible. And some of you give amounts as you can, and that also is incredible. And actually, we do not expect anything, so anything you give is wonderful.
And we give away.
Please do not give if you can't afford it.
No.
Please listen
right.
to what I'm saying. Please do not give if you can't afford it. All right? We will have the money or the income from somewhere else. As Jonathan said, we give away 25% of anything that comes in, and we either give it to a charity that we know of or someone that we know of, or we'll put it into the You've Got a Friend Trust. So that's what will happen. The paypal.me/Jonathan Vera site is one way of doing it, but not everyone likes PayPal. So if you write to me at sue@jonathanvera.com, then I will give you any information that you want about anything. Actually,
or a messenger.
You can write to me on Messenger, so that's not a problem. You can find me. So if you are interested in getting any more CDs, there are many. A number of you really enjoyed the Faithful One song, which is a lovely song actually. And see if I can find it up. Yeah, there we are. It's actually on Pilgrim. So if you don't have Pilgrim already, it's only £8 on the site. Going on the site, you can listen to some of the other songs. You can look at other CDs that are available. You can listen to them. You can find the tracks that you want. Or you can write to me and say, I like that song, what CD is it on? But if you're interested in the site, it's www.jonathanvera.com. I think that's me done with all my boring notices. I get the uninteresting bit to do, but hey.
Go peaceful in gentleness through the violence of these days. Give freely, show tenderness in all your ways.
Through darkness in troubled times, let holiness be your aim.
Seek wisdom, let faithfulness burn like a flame. God speed you, God lead you, and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you lean on my love. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and be gracious to you, and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace and give you his peace. Thank you very much. God bless you. See you next week. Watch again and tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Love you. Bye.
Bye.